Hey everybody, how are you doing? And welcome to a new episode of Snake Oil. And for the guys that don't know what Snake Oil is, it's a series in which I review different type of plugins. And I'm doing this without reading the manual and directly after installing it. So don't take this video too serious. And with that said, let's get started. Today we're looking at the One Knob series from Waves. I actually wanted to do more than just the One Knob series from Waves. I also wanted to do the One Knob things from other manufacturers. But those plugin managers that all needed software updates and gave me a lot of headaches while installing it, I was completely done with them. So I decided to only do it about the One Knob series from Waves. But my review will be more general about the whole one knob principle. Because what is a one knob plugin? Well, it's actually what the name says. It's a plugin with only one knob. And with that one knob we can make things better. It's what they say. However, it's interesting that there are not one knob, but there are actually 8 of them. The brighter, driver, filter, louder, fatter, pressure, pumper and wetter. And yes, I'm having as much trouble as you have with, dividing them into what they actually do. And the only way to figure that out is to run some Sandstorm to it. And I'm talking about the track Sandstorm made by an artist called Darude. So let's do that and let's start with the One Knob Brighter. Alright. So yeah. I think what this thing is just an EQ. An EQ knob. Yeah, okay. Then we also have a driver. It's got a fire icon, so I think this should be distortion or something. Oh. Well, that's also EQ. So it will also have 2 filters, like a low cut and a high cut filter. Alright, then we have a filter. What is this? Oh, this is by default on 10, okay. Ah! The famous EDM filters. And this plugin actually has 2 knobs, because we can also set the resonance. This is very handy, by the way, to automate. Then we have the louder. I think that will be a limiter of some sort. Yeah. Let's drive it a bit more. Not a bad limiter, by the way, not a bad limiter. And then we have fatter, so this will make the sound fatter, more like a bear food. Yeah, that's boosting the low end. Alright. Pressure. What could pressure be? Ah. Some extreme. This is a really strange form of compression. Alright. And we have pumper. Okay, so this is not going to work because it's like a chopper, but this is not going to work because my session isn't synced up with the music. If it is, then it's actually a pretty great effect. And then we have the wetter. Oh, that's just reverb. Some kind of strange reverb-ish stuff-ish-y. Alright, so yeah, one knob plugins, bit difficult to say something about this because there's only one button to turn. And the thing is with these plugins is they are pretty handy to quickly get something done in your mix. And I can understand that if you are a beginner or starting out with mixing and stuff, that these plugins will come in very handy when you know quickly want to pump up something, or don't want to mind learning how an EQ works or learning how a compressor works. If you don't want to do that, then these plugins could come in handy. However, if you tie yourself too much to this type of plugins, to this one knob feeling, this one button plugin stuff, you will limit your own sound in terms of limit your scope of view in terms of the sounds you can make. As we all know, making music is also being creative a lot, and this doesn't give us a lot of options. With this package we can only give it a bit more low, a bit more highs, hype everything a bit, but not really go in depth with it. So having only one knob to turn to make something better isn't going to make you better as an audio engineer, producer, or someone in the music industry. Yeah, you're actually fooling yourself a bit when using this. And to be honest, for all these things, I do have presets made myself to do this, all in FabFilter of course, but because I can have way more control over it. So if I, for instance, for a filter, I have a standard preset in FabFilter to get this type of filter, and then I only need to automate it. And if I want to change it a bit in terms of sound, I can just do that. And I cannot change the resonance with 4 settings. I can, you know, it's completely variable, so I can really adjust it the way I really want to have it. And that's the whole problem with these one knob things. It's not advanced enough. It is too simple. Because I know that not everyone is looking for a very advanced workflow, but at least give yourself some possibilities, give yourself some way to work this. So the one knob package sells for $75, which is a bit on the expensive side if you look at what you get for it. Everything can be done with the standard plugins in your DAW. You know, it's up to you to decide if this will save you a bit of time when working on your mix, because that is something that it could do, but it will prohibit you from having a broad landscape of sound and sound design. A neutral answer for the one knob plugin. It's up to you to decide if these things are snake oil. I wouldn't buy them because, yeah, why should I? I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. Alright, and with that being said, I'm gonna finish my coffee. Ah, that's a good one. Ah. So that's it for this episode of Snake Oil. If you have an idea for a plugin that I should review in one of my Snake Oil videos, leave them in the comments below, because I'm running out of plugin ideas. I'm not really at home in the plugin business and the plugin market. So leave it in the comments below and I will check them out and maybe make a video about it. If you really like this video and want to support me so that I can make more of these videos, check out Patreon over here so you can pledge a bit and give me the ability to make more of these videos. Also check out one of my other videos over here. I will link one, YouTube decides which one, over here. Thanks a lot for watching this one, and I will see you guys again in the next. Bye bye. In the next one. Yeah, bye bye.